What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. In today's video, we're going to be doing the full playthrough now of the Zero Stamina Neo Diamante Coliseum. So, as you guys would know, there is the current Neo Coliseum Diamante and Neo Coliseum X Drake, both available on Extra Island with their Zero Stamina difficulties. Now, don't let the stamina requirement sway you in terms of how difficult this island is, because it is kind of tricky. Now, there is a cost restriction here. You cannot use characters that are above 50 cost, so you can use 50 cost or below. Now, with this particular Neo Coliseum Zero Stamina, in my opinion, I do find it a little bit more challenging compared to the X Drake difficulty one. I just think there's more things you have to take into consideration with the Diamante specific Coliseum. But the team you guys are seeing in this video, I did not create, so massive shout out to Kong95, and I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel down below, because this team, it actually just works very well, and it's very easy to build. Like, the only rare recruit characters you need: Strength Marco, you need Mancherry, and Int Ivankov. If you guys have already seen my other video where I played against the Zero Stamina X Drake, I did also use Ivankov for that team as well. Ivankov is just like a fantastic unit to run on any difficult content because of the damage reduction and the healing that Ivankov provides, which is just super duper key. Speaking of healing, a character I was never ever expecting to use as a captain is Strength Rare Recruit Marco. I was actually pretty surprised, and reading his captain effect, it doesn't seem super duper amazing. But the really key thing here is the recovery at the end of each turn. Now, I believe the Strength Marco is actually like a boosted unit for this specific Coliseum. So the fact that, you can have access to a character like him, I believe he does get a stat increase, which means that his base recovery is higher, which means that he overall was going to heal more with his captain effect. He actually heals 3 times his recovery at the end of each turn, which is pretty good. But in terms of, attack multiplier, he is a 2.5 times fighter captain, which isn't like amazing, but it is enough to carry you through this island just because of the healing factors alone, allowing you to tank lots of damage and, in turn allowing you to stall on some of these boss stages to get your specials ready to then burst on the next stage, which is obviously, one of the main components that a lot of teams use nowadays on very difficult content. You use all your specials on one turn, then you stall up with healing mechanics. Very reminiscent of, old school teams that we've seen back in the day. So Strength Marker is a very optimal unit here, especially with a very good special ability, allowing you to tank, I think it's 90%, yeah, it's 90% damage reduction with his special. He also gets rid of Bind as well, which is going to be very key for one of the stages later on in this island, and also he adds a chain boost if you have 3 strength characters, which is why Invasion Garp is on this team, and you can see we use him here against the Orlumbus stage. The 30% HP cut is very nice for taking down some of these more tankier enemies. I think that this is going to be the stage where a lot of people have trouble, which is the Orlumbus stage. The guy at the back that I am targeting right there, the Dex character at the back, if he attacks, he binds your strength units for, I think it's like 5 turns or something, so you definitely want to take out that guy first, otherwise you have no captains, and you see that the 2 Psi characters in the front will bind the Int characters for 5 turns. But remember, you can use Strength Marker to get rid of Bind, which is very good. And you definitely want to kill Orlumbus as soon as possible, because if you end up killing all the mob characters around Orlumbus, he just summons more. So you definitely want to go ahead and get rid of him before you move on to the next stage. And as I said, with Marco's captain effect, you do have the capabilities of stalling on these mob characters to then get your specials ready for the next stage. So I did say the Orlumbus stage will be one of the more trickier stages for people to get around on this specific island, but definitely another stage that is going to be quite challenging is going to be stage 6, the stage before the final boss fight, and that ends up being a young Doflamingo mini boss, and he does a lot of really annoying things. He gives you paralysis on the first turn, he shuffles your orbs around, and he just does a lot of damage overall. And the thing with that Doflamingo is that if he gets below 30% on stage 6, he does like massive amounts of damage and you basically get killed. I was actually running this team, test running it before, and I accidentally got him right below that 30% threshold, and I just instantly died, and all the progress was gone. So, you know, just trying to, you know, reiterate that when you get to that Doflamingo stage, don't get him below 30%. You have to be very, very careful on stage 6. But then once you do get to stage 6, you know, you can just use your specials once you're ready to go, and then you can move on to the final boss fight. Kind of getting ahead of myself there, as we're only on stage 5 on this clip here. Stage 5 has a bunch of mob characters with a princess turtle. We're using Sabo here to just clear off some of the mob characters, and we can actually stall on one of the Larpens as well to get our specials back against Doflamingo. And also make sure to kill the princess turtle before it does attack you. I believe it does a very significant amount of damage, so ensure that the princess turtle is KO'd before you, you know, just stall on the Larpen to get your specials ready for the Doflamingo stage, as I said, on stage 6. Also, something that I did unfortunately on stage 6 against Doflamingo is I actually used my specials in the wrong order. I actually go ahead and use the Ivankov on turn 1 to allow me to tank the first attack on Doflamingo. But the thing is it actually would have been a better idea if I used my Garp special here as well on the first turn of the Doflamingo fight. And after attacking, I realized it literally straight away as soon as I did that first tap, that I was supposed to activate Garp so that I could get more damage output against the Doflamingo, but I do end up activating it a little bit later, and Garp himself is going to be quite good on the final stage as well, as it allows us to instantly KO Diamante under a certain health threshold. I believe it's 25%, and you guys will be seeing that once we get to that final boss stage. But here at this stage, I am trying to ensure that I don't get him below 30%, but I also want to go ahead and get some matching orbs so that I can use my Sabo special and then ensure that I can KO that Doflamingo at that health threshold. But talking about the final stage against Diamante, very, very, very important to note that do not KO every single mob character that surrounds Diamante. You can keep at least one of them alive, because if all of them are KO'd, he does very, very bad things. So just ensure you leave one of them alive, and then you're good to go. Now, also something to note as well, to make sure you activate these specials correctly, on turn 1 of Neo Diamante on the final boss stage, you can use your Marco special. However, it is better to wait until turn 2 so that you can actually tank the hit from Diamante himself, as Diamante is on a 2-turn cooldown, not a 1-turn cooldown. So I would suggest wait 1 turn and then activate the Marco to tank the hit from Diamante. It allows you to work out a little bit better, especially because on turn 1 you can see that there is a damage immunity barrier, so you cannot do any damage on turn 1. Tank the hit, use Marco, you'll unbind your bottom row characters, which is what I was saying earlier, why Marco is so good here. The unbinding of the characters is very, very good, and then you can use your full squad to start taking down some of the mob characters surrounding Diamante. And remember what I said, at least leave one of them alive and you will be good to go. And at that stage, you can just go ham and just start attacking Diamante. He doesn't do anything at any health threshold unless below 20%, because when he does get below 20%, he'll then go ahead and activate a damage immunity shield. But then at that stage, you can use your Garp special and instantly KO him. And then once Diamante is taken care of, you can finish off the mob character very, very simply. But that is going to conclude this video, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. And if you guys did, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.